सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। From 9th onwards, 9th shloka. अथ चित्तं समाधातुम्
अथ चित्तं समाधातुं
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
अभ्यासयोगेन ततः
अभ्यासयोगेन ततः
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय
अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि
अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि
मत्कर्म परमो भव
मत्कर्म परमो भव
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि
अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि
अथैतदभ्यसक्तोऽसि
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम्
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम्
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञान अभ्यासात्
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्
त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां
मैत्रः करुण एव च
मैत्रः करुण एव च
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः
समदुःखसुखः क्षमी.
समदुःखसुखक्षमी.
Once again, so sukha kshami, that is the way to pronounce it. Adveshta sarvabhutanam
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां
maitrah karuna eva cha
मैत्रः करुण एव च
nirmamo nirahankarah
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः
samadukha sukha kshami.
समदुःखसुखः Kshami.
So we saw that we completed rather the portion of this chapter where Bhagavan Sri Krishna told us various facets of Bhakti Yoga. It looks like Bhakti Yoga is a summary of the entire, all the quote unquote sadhanas, okay? Starting from Jnana Yoga, all the way up to Nishkama Karma Yoga, okay? He divided it in so many ways. If you're not able to do that, then do this. If you're not able to do this, then do something else, like that, he said. Okay? So that is one, that tells us that Bhakti Yoga is not one particular aspect, but it is a collection of all the sadhanas we have studied, namely Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Okay? And then we started this Shloka number 13 by asking the question, how do I know I am a jnani? And since nobody is going to give a certificate, okay, and even if somebody gives a certificate, how do they know that you're a jnani? Correct? Somebody gives a certificate. Okay, you attend a course, you will get a certificate. But generally, they won't say. They can only say this person completed a course on Brahma Vidya. That they can say, course on Brahma Vidya. But what is anybody's guess who a jnani is? Okay. Therefore, here are some qualities that a jnani, that one can expect to see in a Mahatma, in a jnani, in a Brahmavid, okay, in an Atmavid, okay. That is how this next set of verses should be seen. Okay? And so in the seventh chapter itself, in the 16th shloka, Chaturvidha bhajante ma jana sukrutino arjuna artho jignasurartharthi jnani cha bharatarishabha. That was the 16th shloka, where he talked about four kinds of bhaktas. Four kinds of bhaktas. Arthaha. Arthaha means a devotee in distress. Whenever I'm in distress, I think of God, I worship, I chant mantras, I go to temples, I do all these pujas and aradhanas. Then everything looks good, and then all that is forgotten. That kind of a bhakta is called Artha Bhakta, Artha Bhakti. Then Artharthi. Artharthi is even more practical and says, in good times also I need God. Good and God should go together. He will give us a lecture also. And so, good God, right? That's very nice. And so, good times and bad times, we need God. And so, that person is an Artharthi, very practical. And then Jignasu is also a Bhakta. Look at that. That there itself we should get a clue that Bhakti Yoga is not a separate track, right? Because Jignasu is there here. Jignasu, one who is desirous of knowing or removing this self-confusion, that person is called a Jignasu. The Jnani cha Bharatarishabha. We saw that. Jnani also is a Bhakta. Like that, Krishna makes a statement. And then in the next shloka, he says, Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta. We are looking at 7:17. Okay. Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta. Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. Like that he says. Priyo hi Jnani no Pyartham Aham Sacha Mama Priyaha. Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta. Among all those bhaktas, Jnani is one who has accomplished what is to be accomplished, and always staying with this vision that Bhagavan is not separate from me and I am not separate from Bhagavan. Okay, like that he said there. Okay, so here Swamiji says that shloka where Nitya Yuktaha Jnani is mentioned, Jnani is called as a Nitya Yuktaha. That is elaborated in these shlokas starting from 13 onwards. in the Bhakti Yoga chapter. Okay, that is how Swamiji introduces this next set of shlokas. Okay, and so these values are much easier to understand for us, and so that makes us understand the context of these shlokas. Okay, and aham sacha me priya, like that he says that in the 7th chapter. So the priya me priya means what? He or she is dear to me, and I am dear to him or her. That is the way it's said. So our understanding of dearness is what? There are people, many people in this we know. And among those, there are some people who are dearer, and yet other people who are even more dear, or even dearer, if I can use the word. And there are some people who are dearest. Okay? So, the closer a person is in terms of, or the greater the love we have for a person, right? The closer that person is to us. Okay, that closeness is determined by the love we have, how we share, what we can share with that person. And so, how do you, greater the love, lesser is the distance. Maximum love, least distance. Not least distance, zero distance. Maximum love is what? Zero distance. As the distance becomes less and less and less, Swamiji says, love is maximum. Therefore, jnani to atmaiva me matam. The guy who knows that there is no difference between me and you. Maximum love. Love is maximum. Because there is no second thing, really speaking. And so, that jnani is being described by these shlokas. Adveshta, we saw that last time. Dveshakarta, adveshta, dveshakarta, then adveshakarta, one who has no hatred for anybody, that person. So jnani expresses that particular disposition of non-hatred. Sarvabhutanam adveshta. Okay, we saw that. And so this I think this one word is enough to describe really all values of a jnani, what a jnani has in mind. Okay, that only jnani can probably know why adveshta is a value, why I will not hate anybody. Like that, a jnani can say. And as we said last time, that does not mean adharma will not be condemned. Jnani is the first person to condemn adharma. In fact, correct? Why? Because fearless. This is wrong. Because bhaya is not there. Therefore, adveshta does not mean not condemning adharma. First person, because hey, this is not right. Politician also fearlessly he will say, she will say. Another Swami is doing something, then also he will say. Some bhakta is doing, then also he will say, no, this is not right. It's good for you to change your habits. Okay, because there's nothing for the jnani to gain out of all these things. And so, therefore, look at that. Adveshta does not mean keeping the mouth shut all the time when one has to speak. Okay, and therefore, what do I do? How can this value benefit me? Remember, what did we say? All these are lakshanas of a jnani. Means these are the words, these are the attributes that are going to define the behavior of a jnani, the interactions of a jnani with the world, correct? So how can I benefit from that? He said that those qualities of a jnani will become sadhanas for me, right? I can look at the jnani and I can learn from that. They become sadhana for me. I should also emulate those values. So how can I emulate? I know I have so many people that I hate, so many things I hate. And so what should I do? Well, Dushtanai Kandu Duram Vilag, they used to say. That is, if you don't know somebody, if you don't like something or somebody, then Duram Vilag, just stay away. Stay away. Try to find a way in which you just stay away. Because you can't handle the situation, So if you can't handle certain situations, stay away from that situation. There are people who can handle situation, let them deal with those situations. People are also people like that. People also. Many people. People is the issue in our life, right? We can deal with things, but we can't deal with people. People is where issues come. So that is why sometimes we have to be, when we observe sannyasis behaving, one thing I learned from them is assertiveness. Assertiveness. You just have to say no. Just say no. No, that's not for me. Thank you. No thanks. No thanks. Okay, that's a very good, very good usage that I had to spend a lot of time learning. I was never somebody who could say no to things. Really, I couldn't say no. And I've 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 read so many psychology books after learning from Swamiji, and he used to refer to psychology so much. There was a book called "When I Say No, I Feel Guilty." This is a bestseller. Okay, really, I'm telling you, you Google it up. And I don't know who the author is, but I used to read that book when I used to go to work in the bus. I was reading it very for weeks. I was reading that simple book about why it's all right to say no when you should say no. That is the basic message. That is assertiveness, right? Assertiveness means the non-assertiveness means what? Feels as though you're hurting other people, if you say something or do something. And because of that, you don't do certain things. And in the process, nobody benefits. And so we have to be conscious about relationships. First of all, first step is being conscious that there is such a thing, that relationships are not perfect. And there is always something going on, dynamics, and one person may take advantage of the other person. There's always going on, and nobody can stop it. Therefore, I can only do what is expected of me at any given situation. And therefore, next step is I have to be assertive. I have to be assertive in relationships. Good friends are there. Oh, what will I? If I say no, she will get upset. That's it, over. If I say this, she will get upset, he will get upset. Then we have to think carefully, and decide what is the right thing to do. And we have to learn to search that and think, even though others may not like that. Because in friendship, there's a lot of expectation and people make decisions on our behalf also, because you're a friend, after all, I made the decision for you. Sometimes it may not work. And of course, in family, in a marriage, in a relationships, in a family, in a one home, right? Then that becomes even more important. Can be difficult. And because the family situation is there, he's going to bring up another word. He's going to talk about kshami. The last word in this shloka is kshami. We'll come to that. We'll come to that shortly. And therefore, how to deal with all this? Just go to a psychology section of a bookstore. I used to spend hours. There used to be a bookstore called, I'm forgetting all these names, Barnes and Noble, I think. And these bookstores you go, it is very, I mean, for somebody like me who likes to read books, very attractive. All different sections and just an endless number of books. And then you try to buy books and all. If you turn around, there is a coffee shop also. Within the store itself, there is a coffee shop. And you can, any tea, coffee, anything. It's all intercontinental, Colombian coffee, this coffee, that, anything you can get. So it sounds so attractive. They make it so attractive. My goodness. These people know how to sell, I tell you. And so it was good for me. It worked out well for me. And so go to any bookstore and or get some advice from people who have studied all these things. Another author, Wayne Dyer, his ideas are good. especially in the West. And that psychology, psychology has to be understood properly. And then, of course, there is some basic old book, Road Less Traveled. There is Scott Peck is the author, and he had written a book called Road Less Traveled. Like this, hundreds of books are. Then there is this Road Less Traveled Psychology. This is a good book. Then he came up with another book where he talks about there is good, there is evil. There are evil people, he says. That's when you say, thank you very much, sir. And then you move away from Scott Peck. And then Vedantins will not go there. Okay. He talks about this possession and spirits and all that in that book. Anyway, Scott Peck. Then there's another book. David Richo is an author. R-I-C-H-O. David Richo. He writes, I read only one of his books. Okay. His book is, it's called How to Be an Adult. Look at the title, How to Be an Adult. It's actually a thin book. It's a thin book with only some 100 plus pages. And the footnote is a handbook of psychological and spiritual integration. Handbook, thin book, but it says it's a handbook. And you look at that book, every page, every paragraph, every sentence is a loaded sentence. Every sentence you could just sit and do Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana. Okay. That I fell in love with that. Somebody mentioned that book in the ashram, that author, and then I immediately purchased that. And so you see some people who have thought through this thoroughly. They have just mastered this whole topic of psychology. And so that's how you deal with all these things. We have to do our own self-assessment. Really speaking, Vedanta is taught only to sannyasis those days. Shankaracharya says, Sannyasam Jnana Lakshana. Okay. Therefore, that's how it was. Why? Because a person is already ready, already grown out, already said, no, I've grown out of all these things. So I want to be a sannyas. Only that person is taught Vedanta. But today it's not like that. Therefore, we have to look at ourselves properly. There is no shortcut. We should not expect shortcuts. That is why trying to learn the Bhagavad Gita in 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month and all these things are okay. I mean, just overview of Bhagavad Gita and all you can get. But we are talking about this being that has survived so many eons and eons and eons and continuing the journey. So we have to spend some time on ourselves. And so that self-assessment. Many books, I've seen, this is just a few I'm quoting that I remember. And there are motivational speakers who talk about the self, and I had purchased workbooks. Workbooks, I don't know the names. Their person came and spoke in our company also. And you had workbooks where you could assess yourself. Because we are not taught all these things. And it was very beautiful, and it really revealed a lot about the self, my goodness, is this the kind of person I am, And we think we're all great, this and that, but then you assess yourself, then you find, my God, there's so much to improve. And so anyway, that's, so why I'm saying all this, we should not, these become idealistic, adveshta, otherwise idealistic words, not hating anybody. It's a very idealistic thing, right? Because how can you not hate people? Osama bin Laden, do you hate or not? If somebody asks, we must be able to stand up and say, look, my dear friend, there is nobody in the world deserves hate. Okay, because everybody is divine. But what Osama bin Laden, if it is true, what he did is wrong. That's it. So he deserves whatever punishment the community, international community. That's it. Some of these Gandhian people will come and say no. They say no for everything. They say no for everything. Some Gandhian people, okay, not all Gandhian. Everything they say no, it is so horrible. It is so bad, they don't understand dharma at all. Only after dharma, it is moksha, okay? Dharma itself is given up, means what is the point in talking about moksha? So we need to be crystal clear about all these things. And so So Adveshta does not mean lack of condemnation, not giving punishment, not every mother knows. Every mother knows. The mother gives punishment to the child. We're not talking about abuse and all. Just you cannot do this. That's it. The next couple of weeks, you have to spend time at home, more time at home. Coming home at 10 o'clock in the evening is not acceptable. Okay, restraining order. Restraining order, they say. These words are very interesting. Restraining order. And so mother or father does that for the benefit of the child. So, no, that is therefore what? Therefore, it is not called himsa. So that cannot come into the category of himsa. It has to come under the category of love. It has to come under the category of adveshta. Okay, correct? Even though the child hates it. I hate you people for it. Okay, that's what he will say. It's okay, you can hate me for it. Or explain to the child why I'm doing what I'm. Explain, that's even better. It's not good for you. Like that. So therefore, this is not complicated. Therefore, this Sarasa Sama Dana Veda Danda Chatura, correct? Tyagaraja's song. He praises Rama. Rama is such a compassionate person. And you, Rama, you are the epitome of compassion. And you gave so many chances to everybody, including Ravana. Sama, Dana, Bheda. Then only Danda. So, there is a nice methodology. And so therefore, even danda does not mean hatred. Danda means that's what is to be done at that particular time. And that does not mean its absence of love. Anyway, so that confusion is there in many people's minds. Many people's minds. We need to clarify that. And so all these things we use for our own self-assessment. Otherwise, it will become self-judgment. Self-judgment. I can say it very confidently because I decided once to go to a psychologist. After studying all these things, I said, my company used to have this. You can see a psychologist. We thought for 10 free visits you have. Like this, they used to, I don't know what happens these days. But those days, 10 visits. I said, well, 10 visits, free visit, because medical thing, it's very expensive. And so you have 10 free visits, and I said I should go. So I got an advice from somebody as to who some good psychologists are in the area. And a good psychologist, he was a Buddhist. He was very much a Caucasian American, but taken to Buddhism. Yeah, you can Google him up. He's very much there. I mean, he's retired, I think. Name is Ross Harbison. Ross Harbison, I think is his name. I think so. That's his name. Anyway, he's in Houston, still in Houston. And so I visited him. And it was strange for me because what do you do? If you go to a doctor, generally you say, my head is aching, my ankle is constantly chronic pain, this, that you can say. What do you go and tell him? What do you go and tell a psychologist? So I look at him, he looks at me. I look at him, he looks at me. And so then I realized I should say something. So I went and sat down there. And he made a statement. I mean, he gave very good insights he gave. And he said, I think you are too harsh on yourself. That is what he said. I think you're too harsh on yourself. And I mean, I'm comfortable saying all this to you. That shows, because when we checking ourselves out, we can become harsh on ourselves. We can become self-critical, too self-critical, and to a point where I can loosen a little bit. You can say you can loosen up. I think, no, that's not the way. I don't see it the way you see it. That's what he said. And so that helped me a little bit. And so, Adveshta Sarvabhutanam. Sarvabhutanam Adveshta is possible. That is what Krishna is telling us. And Maitraha. Mitrasya bhavaha Maitraha. Maitraha. Maitraha is friendship. Okay. Everybody's friend. Everybody's friend. That is why the same Swami, both heads of both political parties will come and meet the same Swami. Why? Why? Swamiji is there. Some, there many top Swamis are there, and political heads also, they go there. Why? He's also getting your advice. I also am going for your advice. Why? Because Maitraha, Adveshta, and so objectivity is there. When objectivity is there, there is not going to be any short circuiting and all that. And what is, objective advice is given. And so there is Maitra Bhavaha is very much there. And we saw this Bhavaha in 5th chapter. If you want to make a note, 5.29, 529. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhrudam Sarva Bhutanam. Like that, there is a shloka there. Nyatva Mam Shantim Richati. Mam Suhrudam Nyatva. Suhrit, that is the word there. Suhrit. Krishna says, the one who knows me gains it. Shantim Richati, gains Shanti. What kind of me? Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Okay, the Lord, the greatest Lord of this universe. Okay. But then I'm also one more thing. Suhridam, Suhrit. Suhrit, beautiful word. Suhrit is a friend. Suhrit means friend. A friend with no expectations at all. Can you believe that? Friend with no expectations from the other person. Okay, that person is called a Suhrit. So Krishna calls himself as a Suhrit. And means what? I will do whatever needs to be done. And I don't expect you to give me anything in return. That is the meaning of the Suhrit 529. And we used to teach a shloka to our children, Shubhashitas and all, And one of the shlokas was this. Papan nivarayati, yojayate hitaya, guhyam guhati, or guhyam niguhati, gunan prakati karoti, apadgatam chanajahati, dadati kale, sanmitra lakshanamidam, pravadanti santaha. Like that, there is a Shubhash. Pravadanti santaha. Wise people say this. Say what? Sanmitra lakshanam idam. The following are the attributes, qualities of a true friend. Sanmitra lakshanam idam. Pravadanti santaha. That's the last quarter of this Shubhashit. Okay, what are those? Papan nivarayati. Papan nivarayati. The friend is one who papat nivarayati. Who advises the other person not to do certain things. Don't go after this. Don't eat certain things because it's not good for you. Papat. These kinds of behaviors are not good. Don't do maska to all these people. It's not correct. You may benefit in the short run, but in the long run, this maska business it's not good for you. That's called, that person's quality is that. Papan nivarayati. Yojayate hitaya. Instead, the person says, you must be doing these kinds of things. Go here. This person is better. These kinds of areas are better. These kinds of products are better. These kinds of foods are better for you. Yojayate hitaya. Change your habits. Eating habits are not. Spend 10 minutes doing some exercise. Walk, brisk walk. Let's go for a brisk walk. Okay. So that is how a friend does. Yojayate hitaya. Guhyam niguhati. Guhyam niguhati. Having come to know the person has all kinds of good attributes are there, gunas are there, but at the same time, some blind spots are also there. Nobody is perfect. And so, guhyam niguhati, a friend will not tell ill things about us. Okay? Anything he knows about us will keep the mouth shut. No, it's not important. It's not, okay, he doesn't do this, she doesn't do that. No, not like that. Guhyam niguhati. Guhyam. Things that are secrets also. Secrets that belong to the person will not be told out. Guhyam niguhati. Gunan prakati karoti. Instead, highlights the gunas, highlights the good attributes of the person. Such a person is a friend. A friend does that. Apadgatam na jahati. Apadgatam. When in times of distress, in times of misfortune, in tough times, na jahati, does not run away, does not go away, does not say, I have work to do, I'm busy. So that person, friend is ready to help. Friend in need is a friend in need, they say. And then dadati kale. So when at appropriate time, kale dadat. Sometimes help is needed now, not later, not this evening or tomorrow. Tomorrow is too late. Tomorrow is too late. And sometimes, and therefore we have to, a friend knows the timeliness of what the person needs. And so dadati kale. Apadgatam chana jahati dadati kale. Sanmitra lakshanamidam pravadanti santaha. A popular subhashit. And so that's the meaning of, this is sukrit. This is the meaning of mitram. True friend. Instead of saying true friend, use the word sukrit. Sukrit. So here, Krishna means sukrit. When he say maitraha, karunaha evacha. Karunaha. Yeah, compassion, karunaha. We are familiar with compassion. We know compassion. There is no family where there is no compassion. There's always compassion. That's why they say you should get married. Marriage is important because that's when give and take really starts. Give and take starts and takes on a different dimension. Give and take starts even in a family. As a child also, we know give and take. We learn a lot of give and take. And so that compassion comes. Compassion and tyaga go together. Tyaga and compassion. Daya. Karuna means daya. See, there is nothing wrong in helping a person who is not helpful to others. Okay? Think about it. Somebody is not helpful. But when the person wants help, what do? So tendency may be to stay away, etc. But sometimes that help, providing that help is what is the key. That help makes the other person see himself or herself in better light. And so this compassion is very, very key. You see in the sports competitions, there is one competition. I saw that on YouTube. 2016 Rio Games, United States and New Zealand, they are competitors, arch enemies. Okay, in this maybe 5K, 5,000 meters race, and somewhere along the way, this one team member, I think, somebody falls down, trips and falls down, and because of this, the other person, New Zealand also trips and falls down, and New Zealand injures their ankle. The US gets up and runs, but then she turns back, and then she lifts this other lady up. Lifts up. Everybody is running past. She lifts up and she makes sure she's standing up, makes sure she's okay, and says, come on, you also can finish it. And like that, she said, they have a conversation, and then slowly they move forward. So arch enemies also, the compassion will kick in. It is very natural for all of us. Compassion for a human being is very, very natural. In fact, children by nature are compassionate. By nature. We have to keep telling them not to be compassionate. Only then they, no, don't give. You should not do this. You should not do that. No, do that. Do this. You keep on saying it, and child gets a new idea, and so that's how we find most of the cases. And even animals. The thing that comes to my mind is that this tortoise, this tortoise is lying on its back. somewhere, lying on its back. I don't know. It is also it is a rock, I think. On a rock, it is lying on its back. A tortoise lying on its back is the most. It's a suicide basically for the tortoise, right? Even a bird can come and peck. And these elephants are walking, bunch of elephants, and the elephants have nothing to do with tortoises, right? Neither tortoise is food for them, nor tortoise is a threat for them. So nothing. So these elephants are walking, and this one elephant turns back. Wait a minute, did I see this right? this tortoise is doing like, and so it comes nearby, and then it takes its leg, and then it kicks like this, and then tortoise turns over, and then they go along their way. The tortoise is moving off in the other direction, and so karuna. This is called karuna. Nothing. There's no benefit. No benefit for the friend. Really speak. Personal benefit is not there, and so natural for elephants. It's natural among human beings. You see it all the time, and so karuna, not necessarily money, not necessarily resources, just some words spoken at the right time. That is enough. That is karuna. That is the expression of karuna. Kayena vacha manasa. By physically we can do something. Vacha, by saying the right words at the right time. Manasa also. Manasa also. I pray that everything good happens to you. Pray, prarthana. What happens? Prarthana, the benefit of prarthana is punyam. Suppose I chant mantras. I will chant these mantras for you. The karuna there is, I will chant the mantra, I will get punyam, right? When I chant the mantra, I will direct that punyam to you. I am donating that punyam to you. I am donating that punyam. That mantra's punyam goes to you, somebody else, not to me. So that is dhanam. That is dhanam very much. And we say, when we pray for somebody else, that is what happens. What happens? So it's real. These prayers are all real and it's very effective. And so, if I can't do anything physically or anything like that, I can pray very well. I can pray for somebody else. And so that karuna is natural. Now you got a kural in this context. There is a tirukural. So, udukkai piyandavan kaipon ange. So it seems there is a person, and suddenly the shirt or cloth falls off. Something's falling off. The clothes are falling off from the body, slipping off. Now, what is immediately the hand holds on to the cloth, right? Nobody wants to be bare. And so that just like the hand just immediately without being told comes to take care of the situation, to protect the body, like that we should all act when we can see the situation that demands us to act, like that Thiruvalluvar says in one kural. Okay. So what do we get from all this? For a jnani, karuna is natural. For me, karuna has to be practiced. Practice. Keep on giving. Keep on being. Do some compassionate acts. Okay, and that is what we learn from here. Then nirmamaha. 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 So it has come. Nirmama, we've seen it before also. That mamatvam, an individual, we're born as an individual and in a family, and immediately the ahankara will come, mamakara will come. Next word is nirahankara. I will come to that. So that sense of isolation, the child quickly learns. Initially, the child does not have that feeling of isolation. No, this feeling of isolation, I am a being and all, no chance. It's the child is free. All it needs is a food when it's hungry, some pain. Pain should go away. That's all it needs. But other than that, the child has no idea of limitation at all. Correct? I hope you all agree with me. No idea of limitation. Until it grows up and all, for practical reasons and other reasons, it begins to understand, yeah, I am an individual, I am a male, I am a female, my name is this, I have to go to school, and if I don't go to school, then these things will happen. Like this, slowly build up, happen, build up. It's a huge build up. And we have to study Vedanta to unbuild all that. Be like that, but yet unbuild some of the wrong notions we have picked up. And so thanks to Vedanta, we have this asangatvam, atma asangaha, atma nitya sarvagata sthanahu achaloyam sanatana. Okay, that is the message that is given in the Shastram. And that cannot apply to the body. That can only apply to something other than the body. That is who I am. And once that happens, because that becomes the goal for us, lakshya for us, nirmama has to be practiced. For that lakshya to be real for me, correct? For the lakshya to be real for me, I have to practice nirmamatvam. I have to practice. Means occasionally that is so dear to you, give it up to somebody else. Painful, very painful, right? This is mine. This is my shirt. This is the shirt I love. This is the color I love. Sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes. Some of the festivals also, all this New Year, Pongal and all that, what they do is they take away all the stuff, all the garbage we have kept, which is so dear to us, right? It's all there everywhere. The house is full of stuff. And that stuff, just give up some of the stuff. Take it away. Not needed. At least there, it's not. Give it away to somebody, to whom it's useful. The other day, I opened some top. Almara was there. Some suitcases and all are there. I said, what? These are all those old, aristocrat suitcase. One big suitcase is there. There is a company called Aristocrat. We Indians used to be very proud of it. Solid suitcase. You drop it, it won't break. You do that, you throw it to luggage, aircraft, there, nothing happens to the suitcase. But these days, will anybody use that suitcase? I don't think so. Nobody will want. I asked one lady, hey, would you like this suitcase? You know what she said? I mean, I've given her a lot of things. And she said, no, sir, these days we use this thing that drags, that pulls, it seems. And so that's it. Even she knows that. What kind of suitcase are you giving? She lifts the suitcase. Oh, the suitcase itself seems to be 5 kilos. Yeah, correct. The suitcase itself is 5 kilos. So give up all these things. Do something, recycle, kuch na kuch karo. And this nirmamatvam has to be practiced. And asangatvam, yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Sangha will keep on coming. Siddhi siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam. Yajnartha karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Giving up that sangha. Mine. Mine idea has to go. So dhanam has to be practiced. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya tripto nirashrayaha. Fourth chapter. Karma phala sangam tyaktva. So karma yoga is, you see, that everything is involved in karma yoga. Okay, but these are all separate values. Krishna is just separating it out and then telling us. And we saw in the second chapter itself, Vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumans charati nisprihaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashantimadhigacchati. Nirmamaha. There also it comes. Somebody asked this question in the last Upanishad satsang. What is the difference between sannyasa and tyaga? Our Hariji asked that question. Sannyasa and tyaga. Tyaga is a prerequisite to sannyasa. That is another way to put it. Tyaga. Tyaga bhava has to be there. Tyaga bhava. Our country is just, our culture is epitomized by the tyaga bhava. Because that Jiveshwar Aikyam is there. I am not different from you. That bhava is there. Therefore, automatically tyaga is prized in our culture. Tyaga. Eventually, life has to be one of tyaga. And so, Nirmama, we saw that in the second chapter itself. And also we saw in probably the third chapter or maybe second chapter, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate. That's the price of Sangha. No, I can't. Tyaga and all, I'm not interested. I like Sangha very much. Fine. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Bhijayate Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha Sammohat Smriti Vibhramaha. That's the price of Sangha. Too much attachment means that's it, Sangha. And it is connected with our own maturity. And so we've seen those things. That's the price of Sangha. And therefore, all our stories, our itihasas, all just too amazing it is. Rama is going to the forest. No other country you will have this kind of stories. A prince going to forest because mother said something. That too, not even own mother. Somebody, the Kaikeyi said it. This kind of stuff you won't hear. Any other culture will not have any of this. They will not have. That Prakashananda the other day, he says everybody looks at the world differently. You say it is daytime, the owl says it is dark. It is nighttime. That's what the owl is saying. It's very different. What is it? That's how it is. Cow is walking. You say Go Mata is walking. He says my dinner is walking. This is how it is. We all want everybody to see exactly like you, but what to do? It is not like that. It is not like that. And therefore, Rama is happy going to the forest. He is the only person who says this is the right thing to do. Pitruvakya Paripalana Karta, that is his name. Everybody else is furious, angry, upset, sad in the entire Ayodhya. And Rama says, no, this is it. And these days, what did Prakashananda Swamiji say? He said, Rama said, wow, great. 14 years I can do some tapas. In this Ayodhya, there's no chance of doing tapas. Pranayam also, I'm not having time to do. That's what he is. Okay, so that is Rama's attitude. And Pandu also does the same thing. He says, I want to walk away. I've accomplished what is to be done. He walks away. This walking away is there, constantly walking away.
Going to resorts of many ashramas. Rama had a chance.
Yeah, of course. Rama's journey is too good, too inspiring. Therefore, what? Ownership. No, this is mine. Yeah, if this mine is okay, it's important to know what's yours, what's not, so that there are some boundaries. But understand that ownership is a notion. Notion. It is a notion, means it's an idea which has no paramarthika basis. Nothing really belongs to anybody, really speaking. You need to have certain, this is mine, that's mine, okay. Transactionally, it's useful. That is why, towards the end of their lives, people want to, what they do? They become philanthropists. Because they begin to realize, my God, what am I going to do with all this? My end is nearing. So they write off everything. Right. Little earlier itself, you could have started doing that activity. It would have helped people, small people like us. That's what we say. But yeah, that is why is philanthropy a big thing? Because that's how it is. Because we realize, oh my God, I'm going to go and I can't take any of this with me. All these things won't come. Only thing that comes with me are all these attitudes. Adhyaya, Sarva Bhutanam, Nirmamaha. These attitudes only will come with me in the next Janma. Next Janma, I carry those values. Amazing it is. And so, and therefore, Vedanta, of course, says Nirmamaha, Asangaha, Nitya Mukta Sangaha, etc. That is the clue for us. But an easier clue is also there. That is religious. That is religious. Our religious life is littered with stories of Rama and Pandu and others who have just given up everything. And giving up is the goal of life. It looks like it. Can you believe it? Giving up is the goal of human life. If somebody says, will children, will youth understand that statement? Sannyasa is the goal of life. The more and more I think about this, I think children, I think children must be taught about sannyasa, about goals of life. Sannyasa, okay, leave it aside. But goals of life, Tyaga is the goal of life. Nirmamaha, Nirahankaraha, because of who you are. You're not a limited being. They should be told, I think. I think they will love it. I personally think they will love it. They will appreciate it quickly, much quickly than adults, I feel. That's my feeling. Based on my interaction with students, children, I think they will just love to hear these stories. Stories and the sannyasa, they connect each other. All inspiring people of this world. Freedom fighters also, giving up life. They feels like they were ready to give up life. And they were born to give up, born to die, so to speak. I think children will just love this idea, and we should connect our home, pursuits, Purushartha. We should connect it. Dharma and moksha has to go together. I think that's the idea I'm getting now. And we should not shy away from talking about moksha, sannyasa, and things like that. Then the child, Indian child, will be comfortable living in Indian society. Now I know what is the role of ashram? What is a sannyasi? Who is a swami? What are they different people? Are they quote unquote weird people? No, they are not weird people. They are my people. And I may become like that one day. I want to become like that one day. I think if a child can say that, then nobody can shake this country. I think so. That's the idea I'm getting. So that religious life, yajnarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya. Yajnarthat, everything do as a yajna. Do as an offering. That will give me this nirmamatvam. Okay. And so everything is a gift as well. Starting from family, I understand. Not just birthday gifts. Everything is a gift. Mother is a gift. Father is a gift. Brother is a gift. Sister is a gift. Son is a gift. Daughter is a gift. House is a gift. Everything. Just keep on listing. Gift, gift, gift. Make a list. Then put a dash against it. No, I earned it. The ability to earn is a gift. This body, gift. This mind, gift. Amazing. And try to challenge myself, No, it's my own stuff. That is coming. Nirahankaraha. That is the next word. Nirmamaha means mamatvam with respect to all these various possessions I have. Ahankara with this body. Body, mind, sense complex. The mamatvam with respect to body, mind, sense complex is called ahankara. Same word, just different things, that's all. Ahankara. So, sharira abhimanam. Ahankara. வாங்க விட்டு திறந்துதான் இருக்கு. ஆமா உள்ள வரலாம். அமாவாசை தர்ப்பணம் அப்பா வந்தாச்சு. ரைட். So sharira abhimanam is ahankara. So sharira vyatirikta vishaya abhimanam. Anything other than the body, abhimana is mamatvam, mamakara. Right? And so That's a way to understand these two. They're not really two different words. It's just applying to two different things. Sama dukkha sukha. The one who, so this is now how we understand sama dukkha sukha is important. Sukha is joy, pleasure, happiness. Dukkha is sorrow, unhappiness, etc. etc. Sama dukkha sukha. Okay. Something is burning. Something is burning. Because I could smell it very much. I tell her something is burning. And she's saying, no, I'm here right there. Here, right. So, okay. So that means that burning is part of the cooking, I think. That's how I have to interpret it now. So, sama dukkha sukha. Sukham and dukkham are different. That is why there are two different words. And a person who considers sukha and dukkha are identical is maybe confused also. Okay. Sama dukkha sukha means one who acknowledges that both sukha and dukkha are going to be part of life. Therefore, I welcome them because I have prasada buddhi. Okay. Therefore, I welcome them means what? It's not like I'm going and seeking dukkha. No, I don't seek dukkha. But pain is going to come. Pain, just like pain-free life is there, painful life also will be there. That person is a sama dukkha sukha. Sama means equal. The prasada buddhi is so, even for a karma yogi, prasada buddhi is there. Even for a karma yogi, you can use this word, sama dukkha sukha, referring to the person. Okay, one who looks at both, who does not reject dukkha and sukha when they come, even when not invited. Okay, that's the way to look at it. Okay, and then kshami, last word, kshami. Kshamaha asya asti iti kshami. One who has the quality of kshama. What is kshama? After studying all the values, anything that is missing, you put in this word kshama. Okay, anything that is not included is kshama. Means what? Translation is accommodation, the value of accommodating, value of accepting something that you may not like. Okay, accepting something. Prasada buddhi is there, of course. And so this word kshama is very important. So titiksha, we've seen that as one of the qualities in adhikaritvam. Kshamadi shatka sampatti, shama dama, titiksha, shraddha, samadhanam, ityadi we saw at that time. And it is also going to come in the next chapter, 13th chapter. Amanitvam adambhitvam, ahimsa kshantirarjavam. That kshanti is kshama. Shanti is kshama. Accommodation. At some point, we have to learn to accommodate. At some point, we can reject things when possible. But within a family is a great example for us. Why? Because two people get married. They're all matching in everything. Only one thing they don't match. You know what that is? Just an example. Don't take it too literally. She comes with the idea that the house has to be spotless, clean, means pakka, everything. Then she arranges everything. This guy, on the other hand, he has no idea of this looking good and all that. Tidiness also, some problem with this guy. Okay. He's not, cleanliness also, you can't say. A little bit questionable only. Just imagine these two people coming together in marriage. Okay, everything else, all stars, they say, Jadagam and all, everything matching, Padanittu Porutham and all, they say. I mean, not Padanittu Porutham is opposite, but they're all matching. So all the stars are matching, lined up. Except this one thing is not matching. Every day fireworks. How many times I have to tell you, you should not put the coffee cup like this. The day starts with a quarrel. this is going to go on for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. For one life is wasted on. Can you? Poor parents. They are thinking we all did Jadakam, this, that, matching. We checked all these things. Everything matched very well. Very happy marriage. Only the marriage ceremony was a happy marriage. That's it. After the marriage ceremony, when real life starts, it's all fireworks. Fireworks. Tell me. Now that person, both of them come to Swamiji. Swamiji, it's never working on. I've been trying hard to tell him to not to put the coffee cup here, not to put the watch there. Books have to be kept on that table. He always keeps it on this table. What should the Swamiji do now? Our poor Swamiji, look at how we just harass our Swamis with all our small petty problems. And
they never come to ask about Brahman.
I mean, this goes on. So Swamiji has to say, okay, ma, you know what exactly is he doing now? He's doing this. And that's a very serious problem for you? Is that? No, it's not that serious of a problem, but okay. So that if it's not that serious of a problem, then what serious of a problem is it? This kind of conversation Swami has to slowly say, okay, try to put up with him. He's done a lot of good things also. He's earning some money and all. Take care of children. And he does that very well. Very well he does also. Oh, I think, next birthday, you just write something good about him. In that greeting card, I love you about these kinds of things. You say it 2 times, you write. So yeah, that's a good idea, Swami. Yeah. What else can Swamiji do? Can't say attend my Bhagavad Gita class. He can't say because problem is set by the people, not by Swami. And so sama dukkha sukha kshami will we'll do one thing. We'll translate all this in the next class and then continue this in the next class. It's already 10 minutes up. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.